All right, boys. Something we've never done, but when a favorite producer and a favorite artist put an album out together, especially this artist that we've been reviewing for a very long time, and an artist that we're all excited about when he drops an album,
Yeah.
we're going to give our thoughts on what we think the new album by Ty Farris and Apollo Brown, Run Toward the Monster, is going to sound like. What we think the
Expectations.
expectations
So
exactly.
me, I haven't listened to it. I haven't checked the playlist. I just what's the name of the title?
Run Toward the Monster.
Okay. I didn't even know the name of the title. That's what we're reviewing next. This is probably my most anticipated album in a long time. Why? Because Apollo Brown, yes, one of my maybe my top 10 favorite album of all time with Anchovies. Um, and he's been one of my favorite producers all time. And then you get Ty Farris as a monster. I think Ty Farris probably gonna have the biggest step up ever. I don't know if there's even I don't even know the features on here. So I don't want to know. But I don't want to know, but I'm just expecting probably to be shooked and Ty Farris to be the biggest step up ever.
All right. Okay. Derek?
Um,
I can't wait to listen.
I'm fairly familiar with Apollo Brown, and I'm fairly familiar with Ty Farris as well. I think Apollo Brown is one of the best to ever do it. Most of his projects are really stellar. Even a few years ago, whenever you asked me what album would I give to someone, like what's the first album I would give to someone, I gave an Apollo Brown album. And I'm just going to look at the cover of this, and I'm going to say it's going to bring us somewhere. It's an album that takes us on a journey, and I don't think it might not be a positive journey. It might be one of those. Listen, the album, I don't know if the album cover, I don't know if Malenko in the edit you could like.
Yeah, I'll put it here.
Put that somewhere, but it looks dark, moody, reflective. I wouldn't say it looks necessarily grimy, but it looks very introspective in terms
I don't want to see the cover. I don't want to see
You don't
the
want to
cover.
see the cover. It's
But I want to see it,
it's
but
it's a
I
cover
can't do it
cover.
on my. I cannot do it here because to go blind into albums is a sport. Like you need to. I need to tell. I asked Siri.
Mm,
I asked Siri and I don't look at it because if I click
okay.
on here, I'll probably check the. I'm probably
Okay.
gonna see the set list and I'm probably gonna know.
Okay.
I'm probably if he has a feature or whatever, I'm gonna see it.
So I'm not going to describe what it looks like, but all I'll say is that it's.
Oh no, but you
giving
can
me-
describe how you
It's
like.
giving me darkness. That's all I could say.
Okay.
It's giving me darkness. Like if you didn't tell me that this was a cover for a hip hop album, I would have. This is not the genre of. This is not the genre of music I think this album cover reflects. I'll
Okay.
just put it that way.
This is so for me, because Time of a Tarantula, we in November 15 right now. It's top 5 without revealing too much. It's top 5. Ty Farris already have it in the top 5 for the year for me. So if this, I'm expecting to be probably the best album of the year.
That's high expectations.
That's high expectation. I'm expecting no less.
Goddamn, I don't have the experience enough to say what I am expecting out of this in terms of the ranking. But
Chills. I'm probably gonna get.
if Apollo Brown and Ty Farris got together and are releasing an album at this point in time in the year,
Yeah.
it kind of feels like the Oscars. Do you know what I'm saying? Like now we're going to start seeing the movies that should be nominated for the Oscars should start coming out. This is what this feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like this is an award-winning project, prime for award-winning season because otherwise they wouldn't have released this at this time. They wouldn't have kept this in the back pocket. This, for me, starts off high, and hopefully it stays there and it doesn't just come crashing down, because I know both of these, and they cannot. They could only go down. They could only amaze me or go down. You know, it can't. It's no half measures.
What would really disappoint me is bad features. But you cannot, because with Ty Farris you cannot put any feature. You need someone that's really good, like elite level. I would love to see a high elite name, and I would love to not be 6 fucking songs. If it's under 25 fucking minutes, I'll probably cry of disappointment.
I think if this project is like the Ransom project, I think Malenko is going to stop recording.
I'm losing it. But I'm expecting none less than probably the biggest step that Ty Farris has ever done. And
Steven has been quiet this whole time.
But it's good.
And I feel like it's the calm before the storm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't.
Steven.
Yeah.
So Malenko has been a big influence on my life and how I listen to music in the last couple of years. And Ty Farris, I would say, is probably my favorite artist of the last 5 years. If we're really getting like into it, like he's my favorite artist. Okay, him, Vega, Pro, he's that guy. So I didn't look at the features. I did not listen to the single.
No, me neither. I'm not listening to the
And I am pressing play, and I'm going in with zero expectations. I don't care how long the album is. I've looked at the album cover, and I swear to you, if there's something that Ty Farris does, is put out incredible looking album covers for you to literally be like, what the fuck am I gonna get myself into? And he had a group chat on Instagram with a bunch of subscribers, and they were asking him questions about the album, and I did not read the questions nor that the answers that Ty Farris gave, because I do not want to know. I want to put my own view on the album, and I really want to give my own, I don't know. Ty Farris, when he puts out a project, you can't listen to what other people are telling you. First of all, you can't listen to what other people are telling you in the first fucking 2 listens or 3 listens. If anybody's putting out a review after they listen to the album 2 times, sorry, it's going to be a bad review. Take it from the reviewer of all reviewers. Okay? I'm taking a full 7 days with this project, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and what I think of the album, and I'm going to deep dive into it, and we're going to take it from there. But I'm excited as hell. I cannot wait to press play and just look. I might cancel the review and say, hey, boys, we need to listen to it a second week or a third week. But I don't know, man. Look.
I'm expecting chills. My reaction is going to be chills, and every bar I'm going to be like, fuck. Oh, shit. I'm going to be, fuck. Shit. Like every album that I listen to Ty Farris and be like, oh, fucking insane. Sometimes I'm alone and I just, oh my God. I'm like, did you fucking, what the hell?
I wanna be able to listen to this project and say, hey, I need to take a break from music for a while. And that I have that feeling that that's what this project is going to be. So we're going to press play. We're not going to talk about the album in our group chat. And when it's time to review it, we are going to sit down here and review it, because the next review we're going to be doing is Apollo Brown and Ty Farris Run Toward the Monster. And it's going to be a 1 album episode review.
Yep. And it's now.
Hey, yo, this is another episode of the Steven from the Old Time Podcast. Listen to my dad. He's awesome.
Derek and Malenko, I feel like every time I see you, your hair has gotten longer because you guys are trying to do like full, like exactly like the full, like Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect,
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler type hair. And
Holy shit.
you look crazy. And I'm just always losing my hair.
Yeah.
I mean, we have hair, so long as it's there and so long as it's growing, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm doing. I think I'm gonna let my hair long for the first time in my adult life.
Like your dad?
as opposed to his child life, his hair was down to his ass.
I had long hair when I was a kid.
But
here,
like your dad, because your dad has long hair.
mid. No, I'm gonna go longer. I'm gonna try. Let's see. I'm gonna try not to cut it for the whole winter.
Oh, cool.
Just see how long it gets, and I want to slick it back for the last time. I think it's the last time that I can afford to have long hair, so I'll do it.
We're all on a ticking time bomb hair wise. So
Yeah.
Boys, welcome to another episode of Steven from the All Time Podcast. It's great to have you both here. Malenko with my favorite shirt Malenko has ever owned, and I always forget that he has it. So every time I see it, I get excited.
Yeah.
And yep, exactly. Pause. So for this episode, we have only one review to do. We decided that we're just gonna review one album. But before we get into that one album, just a couple of releases that came out that I just want to shine the light on. Jalen Frazier and Machacha, Eye of the Beholder, dropped. Great record. If you haven't heard of Jalen Frazier, he dropped a project with God Bless Beats earlier in the year. Two projects that anybody that listens to underground hip hop or anybody that's getting into hip hop should listen to. He's a great voice in the underground. He has an amazing tone, and just over the 14,000 album that Machacha produced this year, once again has given us different style of beats. So whatever's going on in that madman's brain, he's like Bill Nye the Science Guy or the guy from Back to the Future when he makes beats. We also have Substance 810 and Big Trip. The Guillotine came out. I listened to it a couple of times. I'm still rocking with it. I still got a lot more time to do with it. And Derek, you put me on an album. Actually, two albums.
I did. Let me just pull that up real quick, just because of course, I wasn't prepared because I never am. So I put Malenko and Steven on a Montreal artist. I believe I touched it up on the last episode. That's Beautiful Damage by Young Rose, Montreal artist. Mm-hmm. Really, really great album. I've been rocking with it. I listened to it a few times this week again. Yeah. It's a good thing production is becoming more accessible. Like quality production and quality sounding albums is becoming a more common thing, and I'm glad to see these Montreal artists really shine in that regards, because we just need more. We need more. Montreal has a really good music culture. We just need more of that. And then the other one that came out is No Dega by Oh No. Great project. Absolutely loved it. It's one of those where I didn't know who Ono was. And the cover sort of, in a way, like it just attracted me. And also it was one of those things that after I listened to the album that we're about to review, my playlist just kept going, and this songs off of this album was just in my suggestions, and I didn't even notice. And then I realized I was just really jiving with it in the car. And yeah, really good project. You got some really good features on there, some very underground features, some mainstream features. But yeah, it was a really good project. 20 songs, 42 minutes, but enjoyable top to bottom for me.
Malenko, we have both been fans of Oh No.
Oh no. Yeah, I fucking love Oh No.
And the Gangrene albums that he did with Alchemist.
Yep.
And Derek, if you've never heard of Gangrene,
I think those are underrated.
Man, they put out I think what is it 3
Are
or
we
4
talking about
Four.
projects?
gangrene,
Four.
gangrene like the New York Jets, or gangrene like the infection gangrene?
Gangrene like the infection gangrene.
Okay.
So imagine the production of Oh No,
Yeah.
and then imagine the production of The Alchemist,
Okay.
and imagine taking about 90 grams of shroom, maybe
I wouldn't know what that's like, but okay.
putting in some ecstasy in there, and basically going on like a trip like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and then playing music. That is basically what gangrene is. Am I wrong, Malenko?
Yeah, it's very psychedelics rap type beats.
Yeah.
Especially
Okay.
the two first one. The third one is just nasty as filth.
Gangrene.
And they have a bunch of crazy featurings on them. Prodigy, Raekwon, Evidence, so many names on there. And man, it's literally just a trip. It's like whether you take drugs or not, you could understand the trip within the music on there.
All of them, all of the albums, or there's some specifically that you're like,
Well, they're all good, but I think the last two, and one Malenko specifically talking about, it looks like there's like a doll that's run over by a truck in the middle of the street.
That's
you
three, right?
discussed me 2015.
Yeah,
That's three.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the. Oof. Yeah, that's you disgust me is insane.
It's disgusting. No
So
pun.
I know how nasty an album is whenever you ask Malenko's opinion, and Malenko tries to formulate a sentence, and all that comes out is, oh, oof,
Nasty. It's
oof.
nasty.
Then I know it's going to be good.
And there's a bunch of fucks when he's trying to explain what it is.
The animal or the actual word?
The word.
The
Okay.
word. Yeah, check that out, Derek. We also had an album that we're going to review probably on the next episode, that I got a phone call midday by Sir Derek, literally freaking out on the phone. And when Derek calls, there's only two reasons why he calls you. It's negative and he cannot make the episode, or it's negative and he can't make the episode. So the whole time I was like, I'm gonna get Derek is calling me, he can't make the episode. But guess what? It was Derek literally freaking out at the new Ransom and Conductor Williams.
Conductor, we have a problem.
I am not saying anything. I am keeping all of that juice for the review next week. But if you're listening to us right now, don't wait for our review. Go listen to it right now. You need to experience this for you guys to understand how much it. Yeah, crazy. And I didn't even call Steven. So understand, I didn't call Steven after I listened to the album once. I called Steven midway through the first song.
Oh shit.
That's how much it just starts off just fire.
We have a problem, Conductor. We have a problem.
We have a problem, and we'll discuss the problems of the album, which there's not that many, but I didn't know this was coming out. Yeah,
Is it
it's
better
Ransom.
than 6 songs?
It is more than six songs, not
Right.
by much. However, I think the quality of this one, as opposed to the one that came before, is a significant leap. And
Damn.
I'm not. Ransom always puts out quality, but this is. It's nasty. As
We'll
Malenko would
talk
put
about
it.
it next. We'll see you next week.
And Malenko, what's the other record that came out that you mentioned that you want to review?
Chez Noir and Seven the Genius. Oh my god, that's the next album we're reviewing for sure.
So we basically got our next week review already set in motion.
Yeah, I got into the album because when I finished, I think I was listening to Bruiser Wolf, Made by Dope, that I've been listening in rotation all the time. Boss Up, listen to Boss Up by Bruiser Wolf. But yeah, the song Town Ballroom came out, okay, and it was incredible. And yeah,
Wow.
Oh, yeah, Shane and Seven the Genius.
Desired Crowns, 33 minutes. Okay.
Listen to that Town Ballroom song. Oof, that's fucking good.
Okay.
I don't know why they don't put that shit on the radio. And
Mm.
last I saw I was watching on Instagram, Big Boy got like Blueface in an interview, and that's a big. And I'm like, why Blueface? Who gives a fuck? There's music like this coming out. That
Marco,
was
you're
my
not
thought.
wrong.
I like Big Boy. You're supposed to be rap. Like,
I think it's one of those things that
Jesus.
the algorithms make it so that if you're not into this kind of stuff, it's just not going to propose it. But I feel like it needs to. They need to find a way to tweak the algorithm to like propose you more stuff that you haven't heard before, so that way like you're putting more ears on it.
Yeah.
You know, I got lucky once we finished. Once I went through the album that we're about to review, like it suggested me the Ono project. Like I got lucky and I listened to it, you know, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But like if I didn't and I just clicked on the album and I didn't click like, hey, just throw songs my way, like it wouldn't have recommended it. And I find like that's what sucks. You could only find good rap if you look for it, because otherwise it just doesn't suggest it, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll review those two projects. Let's do the first thing. We actually, for the first time, something we've never done is really do an episode revolving around one album. And
I think we already did that.
Yeah, we have.
We did.
Or if we didn't do an entire episode around one album, we did like an hour and a half episode, and like an hour and 15 minutes was one album.
Yeah, we did that with the Vega 7 project.
We also might have done it with the Ty Farris, the Enigma one.
No, there was something else on it, but
There was something else, but we talk about that one for an hour.
But anyways, speaking
Maybe
of,
it is the first time. I'm thinking about it. I think it is.
this is my podcast. I know what I'm doing. But look, we're gonna lay out that red carpet when this artist drops an album. All three of us, the pod gets excited because we're fans and we just love what this man puts together. And now, if you've watched our expectations video, we gave our expectations on this project. Now we're finally here to sit down and to go through the album by Apollo Brown and Ty Farris, Run Toward the Monster. Boys, we are here. I'm scratching my head, and literally not scratching my head because it's itchy, but scratching my head because I feel like I've sat down with this project for a long period of time right now, and I've also removed maybe 48 hours of listening to it and then going back and listening to this project in different settings, whether it's when I wake up in the morning, whether it's when it's on my day off, whether it's when I'm working, busting my ass at work, coming home from work, sitting in my kitchen all alone in the dark, or really trying to find a spot where and you're laughing, but you're absolutely like
because you say like you finish work, you go in the kitchen and sit in the dark. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
come down.
call my son downstairs. Like I was sitting in the kitchen listening to this, and it was pitch black. I just had soup and a grilled cheese, and I put on this project.
That's so good.
Okay,
That's a great combination too.
but the reason why I'm expressing this to you boys and to the listeners is because when Ty Farris puts out a project, he doesn't just put out projects for you to get in one listen, and he doesn't put out a project where you get it in 5 listens. It might take you 10, 15, 20 times of listening to it. A lot of the times it's a slow burn because you need to appreciate the value and what he's giving to you. The dude is a philosopher. I don't like to use the word philosopher because I don't even understand what that means. To me, a philosopher is somebody that just has game and just has a bunch of information and is just literally trying to express himself to you and make you understand what he's gone through. And this project to me is a perfect example of that. Run Toward the Monster, produced by Apollo Brown. I'm going to repeat myself to the people that do not know who Apollo Brown is. Apollo Brown has been making incredible bodies of work, from albums with Sky Zoo, from songs with West Side Gun and Conway. Okay, Malenko, help me out. With albums with Planet Asia.
Oh, those are the best too.
With albums with fucking Guilty Simpson.
Guilty is insane too. That's a crazy good
albums.
I own that, I think.
Albums with OC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like so many projects that we've listened to growing up. And for him to be able to work with, to me, one of the best MCs of the last 5 years. Am I wrong? Somebody please jump in if I'm wrong about what I just said.
No, that's why we're not jumping in.
Wonderful. Thank you. But literally, and on this project, he calls himself the underdog. I think maybe the underdog getting to what this point is in your MC, in your albums, and what you're able to give to us. But I do not think you're the underdog. I think you're the champion. I think you are such a incredible lyricist, an incredible artist, using the word artist, and being able to give us the albums that you've been giving us. I don't think you're the underdog. But anyways, it's okay. I feel that way. You might feel it differently. Look, Run Toward the Monster. We're going to jump in. We're going to give our favorite tracks. We're going to go through the standout tracks. We're going to give our thoughts. Just let me put this on here first. There was a group chat with people that subscribe to Ty Farris's channel where he was answering questions. People were asking questions, and he was answering questions about the album. I paid no mind to it because I wanted to give my own perspective on how I felt about the album, like we've done with the other projects. Okay? So I have no idea what he said in there. I might have caught a word or two, but literally I don't even remember it. Okay? Run Toward the Monster, to me, is about attacking your problems head on. The monster is the issues. The monster is the problems. The monster is things that you go through in life. People are always scared to be part of a problem or have a problem or go through problems in life. But I think those problems are how you grow in life. And that's what the whole body of work of this album is growth with dealing with problems, with dealing with issues, with dealing with pressure, and with dealing with life experiences. That's what I get first and foremost from this record. And there's a whole emotional concept on here that I find that Ty Farris literally needed to write this album and take his time writing this album, because there was so much that had to go into it, right? It's not easy. And you know what? One of the monsters for Ty Farris was probably putting this album together.
Yeah, he says that in his song, he mentions that he wrote that rhyme in the dark, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And there's songs on here that he literally, you know, like Beautiful Struggle that we'll get into later. That's not an easy song to write.
No.
And he also mentions writer's block on here.
It is a beautiful thing. I mean, yeah.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's go.
The monster gives you life. We open up with Run, with the skit.
Yeah.
It's more of like, to me, that's more like of a, I don't know who that voice is, but it's more like maybe a church pastor or somebody giving you light on attacking your problems head on, you know, getting the opportunity to go through these issues to build you as a stronger and better person. Then we get into Follow My Soul, talking about overcoming issues, growing up in the game and in the streets. Those are topics that he goes through a lot on here, on the album, of growing up in the streets, going through the trials and tribulations of the street life, and how he's learned from it. That's made him a better person in the hip hop game. But also goes through those kinds of stuff, those kinds of issues within the hip hop. This game's so cold, it's a lonely road. Always referring as the underdog throughout this song. Very eerie, flute sample, soulful type of beat that Apollo Brown starts off the album. I think that this was a perfect way to start off the album, set it off.
Dude, that beat is sick. I think that beat is sick. It's very I mean, I'll say for the whole album is very there's nothing grandiose about these beats. They're just well done, intricate, and they're very really somber. Is that a word, somber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the cover art. We talked about the expectations. Derek, you mentioned it. When I saw the cover, I said, yep, it looks like a death metal album cover. So yeah, no, it's super dark. I love the progression of the drums throughout the beat. The flute is nasty, and fuck, man, Ty is a beast, bro. That fucking beef line, the family recipe line, sick. I mean, the first verse, and he lays it out right away. But he's elite rhymer here.
I feel like one of his monsters is belief and believing in himself. And it's the struggle that he's gone through. And that's why he keeps calling himself the underdog. And he's had those issues within music. Derek, I feel like you want to say something.
No, not necessarily. I just think there's a recurring pattern with Ty Farris in terms of the project that he puts out, and it's very much they're very introspective albums for the most part. Not necessarily introspective doesn't necessarily mean bad or dark or weak or sad. It's even the one Enigma with an Attitude, he was being introspective in how he views himself within the whole hip-hop space. And in this, it's not so much about how he views himself during the hip-hop space, but maybe coming up in that hip-hop space and having to deal with what he has to deal with in this space and in life in general. So I think a lot, and I think this is what's interesting about it as well, about Ty Farris specifically, is that he has a way of making you reflect on what he's writing, because he in himself is reflective in the way he writes. So I think that's an interesting thing, and I think Apollo Brown laid out a perfect soundscape for him of the beats don't overshadow anything. If anything, you know how sometimes when we listen to a movie, the music score is very important. It helps you like lock in how you're supposed to feel during a specific scene. Mm-hmm. Apollo Brown did a really good job in that way of like giving you a beat that makes you want to focus on what Ty Farris is saying. And I think that's a skill, you know, to be able to deliver something like that without having the beat take up too much room in a song, I think is really interesting. And like you guys mentioned, I think Follow My Soul is really good. I think that beat, it's the way that comes in and the way there's that eeriness to it just makes you really hone in to the craft of Ty Farris and the wordsmith that is Ty Farris, the poet that is Ty Farris in a lot of ways. And even though he's talking about maybe being, you know, the struggle and stuff, he's still writing it he's still writing it with strength and not weakness, if you know what I'm saying. He's being introspective and he's being vulnerable, but he's being strong in that vulnerability of like not making himself sound whiny or sound like he's complaining, but like the strength of being able to find the words for it. And I think that's really important about this project, because as introspective as it is, he doesn't come off as being weak. He comes off stronger because of it. And I think that's a really interesting thing.
The punchlines that he takes is those punchlines are so witty, you know, that you can't look like a softie. You can't sound like a softie when you have
He's good. He's really good at his craft. He's really good at laying out something, but he's really good at laying out the struggles, but then coming out on top of those struggles, or at least planning on to come out on top of those struggles. And he does it in a very crafty, poetic kind of way that like you don't get. If you listen to this project once or twice, you're not going to get that. You're
No.
absolutely not going to get the whole point, the whole message of this. This is a project that even if I listen to this next year, I'm still going to catch some stuff. Because that's what happens with such an introspective project is what did he mean by this? What headspace was he in when he wrote this? And depending how you feel that day, you might not catch it the same way he intended you to catch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that day you're not feeling the greatest, you might catch it in a darker, more vulnerable kind of state. But if that day you're feeling really good and you're feeling really confident, then you might see that confidence and that bragging, that sort of like cocky attitude come out more on the album. And that's why this is a really good project in just the range of emotions it makes you feel throughout the song, depending how you approach it, is really important as well.
Yeah. No celebrations. Again, those chants on here. Apollo Brown gave him an incredible soundscape on this song. And again, it's just the same subject matter that is belief, and just him going through what he's gone through. But I just find that it meshes so well on No Celebrations, and Apollo Brown did a really great job of really. I don't know how this worked. Did Apollo Brown read these lyrics? Because he really was able to. What Ty Farris was writing, Apollo Brown was really able to give him that emotional sound on it, and it shows incredibly on No Celebrations. And it's kind of like, the second part to Follow My Soul, just going into each song.
Yeah, that groovy, that bass line on fucking Celebration is sick. And
Is
with
it-
a flute, because
Yeah.
it's super groovy, but it still sounds like it's still sinister. I think
Yeah.
somber doesn't exist and it's sinister, that I wanted to say.
I got super excited when I heard the flute. And before I mentioned flute, but it was No Celebration,
As
not
soon as
Follow
you
My
hear
Soul.
the grooviness, for me, it was when you hear the grooviness of the drum and the bass. I was like, okay, we're picking up a bit. I didn't want like a Follow My Soul again, another dark tone to it. He went up a bit with this.
Yeah, but the way the flute is played on here, that sample, or even if he played it himself, it sounds so present on here. And I like when artists use flutes in their production, it doesn't sound as clear as it does on here.
But yeah, really good song. And the plug line. If he's the plug and he bring the cables, come on. he always got lines that you like. How can nobody have thought of this before?
Yeah.
That's how good he is every time.
Details.
Oof, that's the best song of the album.
They can never decode the mind of a man who always got a plan, always analyzing. The streets taught me well, where most failed, I prevailed. Man, incredible song. One of my favorites on the project. Again,
Me is my favorite song.
really?
It's too nasty. Those verses, that second verse is probably one of the best verse I've heard all year. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
The way he pens his emotions on here.
Apollo Brown, bro. That beat, oh, I wrote, what did I wrote here? I wrote
Malenko taking notes.
the keys on that sound like a haunted, like those little kids games that you roll the thing and it makes it so darker, but it's a good bass and a good fucking drum. The production is A1 on this. Fuck.
Yeah.
And then Ty again, the good fucking hook, great hook. The first verse is nasty, but that second verse is. I repeated like 3 times the first time I heard that song. I couldn't believe it. I was like, Jesus, elite. After a hook like this, to pick it up again, underground rappers, man, hooks sometimes they suck. So
and it doesn't sound as like this. Sounds like it doesn't sound like it. It is a well put together project, and Ty Farris shines so well on here, and it's because of the hooks, right? He adds so much value to the song because of his hooks, and how a hook isn't always supposed to make you think and be like, oh wow, that's interesting. But he does that on here. Just by what I just said, that's part of the hook. Where most failed, I prevailed. It just gives it so much more flavor to the song. Authenticity. With one of the featurings of the man we haven't heard in a long time. And I'm so happy I did not see that he was on the project.
Yeah, I made it to not see it, me.
And
oh my god. When I heard the umbrella, I thought it was maybe Pro Dillinger too.
Pro would have killed it on here.
Killed this shit. Oh my god, Pro on this, he would have been amazing. Pro and Ty would be a fucking amazing combination. But
as soon as I heard It's Danbro, I was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no, we're gonna get it.
He held his own, and he didn't sound like shit. He actually recorded good. Yeah. Apollo Brown wouldn't let that fucking cell phone verse get in, but yeah, no. He got it. He sounds good on here, and he held his own. Ty still untouchable. Again, that first verse is fucking ridiculous, but Mickey Diamond held his own. I missed listening to Mickey Diamond.
Yeah, man. When I here, we'll get to Ty Farris after, but hearing Mickey Diamond over Apollo Brown, just all of them being from Detroit, was just amazing to hear, and I'm super happy. And I know Ty picked Mickey Diamond for this because of that Detroit sound and just being everybody from Detroit and authenticity, being authentic, and being very different. Just it fits super well, and Mickey held his own on here, and it's so amazing to hear Mickey Diamond.
Wait a second, is Detroit or Detroit?
Detroit.
Oh my god, I always said
OIT.
Detroit. Okay, that's my French Canadian.
That's Malenko's French Canadian Chilean accent. You Chileans.
Detroit.
But yeah, he did an amazing job. He held his own on here. He sounded super great over Apollo Brown's production, and he had a long verse too. I don't know how many bars that was, but man, he killed it.
Yeah, no, he had a good. He held his own for real. He didn't look bad at all.
He sounded really good. He sounded really good.
More like he needed I didn't get like much of a punchline of him.
It's okay. We don't need that on this song.
Yeah, I know.
Mickey does enough punchlines that we didn't need this. Yeah. We didn't need him to do that on here. We needed Mickey Diamond to be vulnerable on here. We needed Mickey Diamond to be emotional on here. Just really to match the energy of Ty Farris. Laser focused, like Ty says on here. Clues in his lyrics. When I heard him talk about clues in his lyrics, I said to myself, I'm like, you see, we reviewed Enigma and we reviewed Tarantula and we said it. He leaves clues in his lyrics. And that is why we pick up things on our 20th, on our 30th listen, because we're not supposed to understand it. He moves with a mission. He's very different. Control Alt Delete.
Oof.
Puts a computer together, dismantled it, lay out of the street.
Dude, that first verse is fucking ridiculous.
My third eye is open and never sleeps.
I don't care about anyone. That first verse is ridiculous. Oh my god. The AI. I didn't write the line. There's something about transition by AI, and then cut, copy, paste.
Mm-hmm.
Line. I don't know. I don't remember. I cannot read what I read here, but Jesus Christ, the guy is just that whole gimmick of the first verse. Not the gimmick, the pattern that he used with the computer talk, and so fucking smart. Those lines are, when you do a verse like that and you're trying to do a whole pattern and a wordplay based on a pattern, It's so easy to be corny. So easy. So easy. Has has he ever battle rap?
Uh,
Probably.
I
Being
was
from
just
Detroit.
about to say that.
Yeah.
And this is like that was my introduction into hip hop was freestyle like Shadeford 5 but by battle
Battle
rappers.
rappers.
And
And they
battle
always
rappers
do
have a
that.
way to be so I'm about to swear.
Yeah.
They're so fucking crafty about playing a theme
Yeah.
and giving
a
you
theme.
these punchlines, but you don't. They're not being corny with it. You catch it, and you're like, I can't believe the motherfucker went there.
Yeah.
You know,
Guys.
like they're so crafty in the way they do it. And whenever you see a track, especially like Control Alt Delete, you're like, okay, computer technology, let's see where it goes. And to Malenko's point, he did it like freestyle battle rapper crafty
So
you know
smart.
like because what happens whenever you see like a theme like that you sort of like hear the beginning of the verse and you're like, oh, I could see where this is going. You know, often you play that game of like, oh, like let's see where he could go. You hear certain rhymes or certain patterns and you're like, oh, like I could catch where I feel like this is going. And battle rappers, Ty Farris on this, did such a good job of like you sort of know where he's going with it, but he hits you with that crafty little thing that still surprises you, even though you saw it coming. Like he has a way of manipulating the words to do exactly what he wants them to do. I think that was masterful on his part.
so you mentioned battle rapper, and I'm not sure 100%, but he might have had something to do with that. Hopefully, I could get corrected, or somebody else knows more than me on this. But you guys, look at the Detroit rappers: Eminem, Royce the
There's a big battle culture.
yeah, Royce the
In
5'9".
Yeah.
Okay,
They all battlers. So
Proof, like
battle, yeah.
all these guys, man. Like if you look at all those guys that I just told you about, and there's a bunch of other ones, please don't
There's a
get.
1,000.
But like
There's
just
so much.
listening to all of those and how we hear Ty Farris, they've all come up one way or another together, and they all have that you know being compatible with each other. And Ty Farris, and he's mentioned that on here, Proof being somebody that he's written lyrics with, who Proof took him under his wing and stuff like that. He's also mentioned Royce the 5'9" a couple of times. Like, just look at those guys spit. Look at Royce the 5'9" spit. Like it's part of that Detroit culture. Ty Farris is just part of that Detroit culture, and we're just now last 5 years seeing it unfold.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody who's just gotten into him now, go back and listen to his older albums. Listen to the older Ty Farris albums. Like it's not none of this is new. Like the no cosign, just cocaine projects, Wired Different, Dark Knights, and Defitted. Like Fluorescent Mud, you get all
Malice
these,
at the Palace.
right? Like you get all that, but just you want to hear him spit, like on fuck it, like that style, like that Royce the 5'9" battle rap type style. No cosign, just cocaine series. He's nasty.
I think there's something that happens whenever. I think we know that like there's a New York sound, there's a West Coast sound, there's like a Southern sound. There's something about, for me personally, there's something about the Detroit, Baltimore sound of like, I don't know if it's maybe the hardship of where they come from, but the guys who come out of Baltimore, come out of Detroit, they come out with an aggression, a creativeness in their wordplay because every single person around them are absolute fucking killers. That if you're not crafty, if you're not creative, if you don't come correct with the penmanship, you'll just get crushed. And it stands out so much whenever you hear a Baltimore rapper or a Detroit rapper, and the way they come about certain tracks and the way they craft their verses. It's done in a way that the only way you could reach that level is by having people around you that are at that level too. That's the only way.
Your peers.
It's your peers elevate you to step up your game, and it shows. It shows on this that Ty Farris was around killers. It just shows. There's
Influenced.
yeah, influence. Either it's influence or mentorship or friendship or anything, but it just shows in that he's surrounded by people that if you don't come with your A game, you're gonna suffer from it. And I don't mean suffer in a bad way. Sometimes suffering is a good thing, and yeah, it's just crazy.
Let's get into my favorite song of the album. The most emotional song of the album, the most impactful song of the album. I messaged Ty myself and told him this might be one of your best songs. This might be one of your best songs. And I really stand by that. And listening to this song, it's my most played song on this album, to the point where I keep going back every time I listen to it, just to, I don't know, there's some emotion about it that really gets to me that you don't really hear a lot in artists. Beautiful Struggle, the most emotional song, like I said on here. He dug into his real monster on here of his life. And this is over an incredibly cold, eerie, rainy night. Maybe when you get the time change for the first week and it's like 4 p.m. and it's raining outside and you're like, why the fuck is it so dark?
Basically the weather we've been having in Montreal for the last 2 weeks.
Exactly. That's nonstop rain and no sunshine.
Today was the nicest day though.
Yes. With just keys and some sort of like whistling type of flute. And yeah, the monster of his life, basically, he says both his parents were fiends on here. His mother died of an overdose to alcohol. His father got killed, right? And almost getting hit himself, and talking about the struggle that he went through, that painful struggle of his life experience. And also just talking about the passing of Ka on here, that really gave me goosebumps, and how it affected him, and that he misses him every day, and that he had to hide crying in front of his daughter, and just his friendship. And again, Proof being his peer and being able to have that experience with him, and Proof giving him game and putting him onto game, the lost souls of the ghetto. Salute the sky from Proof and Ka, what he says on here. You got and the music, you got to feel something with it. And to me, I almost shed a tear on this. I'm not going to lie to you, because it's the first time hearing one of your favorite artists really go in depth on his emotions is really something touching to see. So, and I just, having an artist that's able to be vulnerable like this, and it must be super tough. It must be one of the toughest things to do, giving us, the listeners, just all this information. And really, I felt like I knew Ty Farris more after listening to this song. You guys?
Yeah. Well, you have no choice, because he's telling you stuff that is true. And it's for me, what the first thing that I thought about this is like the art of writing a song. This is why we listen to rap. This is exactly how to write a song. This is what it's supposed to be. It's pretty much a masterpiece of how to write a song for me.
And he mentions it. You gotta feel something when you press play on a song, and it's exactly this.
Yeah, you cannot get sometimes you need some. I get it. I'm the first one to say sometimes you need songs to be just ignorant, and you need some songs to be just dumb shit that you just listen to. But at the end of the day, when you come to the core of rapping, this is exactly it. It's exactly it. This is why we latch to it. That's why you like an artist more than others. You
Yeah.
know them better. They don't rap about the same thing and like romanticize something or like this is true him and that's his story and he's telling you his story.
And to mention an artist like Ka, who never put out a fluff project. Every project that Ka has ever released has been deep, very meticulous, very artistic, very soulful. It came from the heart. He never put out just a fluff project. Everything was always so introspective and beautifully crafted that if you're going to mention how much you miss an artist like him, you have no choice but to pay him homage in by also being vulnerable and by also speaking from the heart, because that's what that artist did. And I think a lot of us miss an artist like Cobb because whenever you had a project from him, you knew that it was going to take you somewhere. It was going to take you on a journey, and I think that's something that's going to be missed within this rapping space. But having an artist like Ty Farris mention that this was hard for him makes also us who felt that loss of Koff feel like often sometimes you listen to certain artists and you don't forget that they're human. You understand that they're human, but they almost appear untouchable because there's you listen to them, but they're sort of far away, and we tend to take for granted that like they're humans with emotions and feelings as well. And I think this song showcased the human side of Ty Farris very much in a way that he feels the same things that we feel, and sometimes we struggle in terms of putting those things into words. And I think he found a beautiful way to verbalize what he does. But that's also the beauty of being a hip hop artist, is that you have that knowledge and that craft and that experience to be able to put certain things into words. And I think for me personally, I related to this song a lot because I've only discovered Ka by doing this podcast with you guys. And I think for me personally, he'll go down as one of the best to ever do it in terms of the quality of his craft. All albums are good. And I think to have an artist like Ty Farris also appreciate that. For me, it just sort of puts like a validation of like, it's okay for me to feel that loss of Ka because I'm not the only one that feels it.
Yeah,
you know?
No, for sure. Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I think that was a beautiful thing that he did, and I truly appreciate that song.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, thank you for that song. It's greatly appreciated to get that side from an artist, and you know, just the stuff about his parents and stuff like that. I had no like. I listened to it, and I'm like, holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Like, you want that from, and it's not always easy for the artist to do that, but you want that because if you're so attached to the artist's music, you want to get to know the artist more. It's not like I can have a conversation like this, right? It's not like I could go, hey, let's go to the bar and hang out and have a beer. Like we can't do that. So getting it in the music makes me feel so much more appreciated for who the human being is. Sacred, one of the more uplifting type of
right
beat.
after
right.
Yeah, that was needed. It was needed. You couldn't have followed up with another heavy song. You had to.
There was bass in here. There was like a tire, a choir type, you know, voice throughout the song. You know, he talks about writer's block on here. Pain is the pen. You know, just writing straight from the heart always. Never taking his gift for granted. Him being the poet, the artist that he is, never taking his gift for granted. He knows he's special, and he's never gonna take that for granted.
Dude, he says he's surgical with this pen, bro. He's surgical. Sacred again, I think is probably my second favorite song on here. The beat, just the beat, because for me, beautiful struggle. The beat, I kind of, it's okay. It's not my favorite of the album. You know, I don't want to kill it for you. I don't want to say why, but it makes me think of something.
Say
And it just makes me no, I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but it just always give me like a extraterrestrial
Extraterrestrial.
extraterrestrial,
vibe type the
alien stuff, sci-fi
like,
stuff.
it makes me like sci-fi, like the aliens
Okay.
are coming for us.
I know
Okay.
what you mean. You know what?
I get it.
Hold
But
on a
that's
sec.
why I kind of cited in a silly way after, and because I was trying to describe how I feel about the beat, and I feel like it's a bit too like, but the drums save it, but just the bass and the
I get
I'm
it.
like,
I
oh
love that.
shit, the aliens are coming like all the time. But sacred is my type of beat. When you get that gospel samples and little small drums, little twinkling guitars there, that's it. And the bars again, I think it's a masterclass of how you write. This is a hip hop song, right? This is what, like, this is a real elite hip hop songs that like, that's why not everyone can be a rapper. Like,
True.
people, you can give them $1,000,000,000 and they can't write a song like this.
And it just goes to show that there's level in this game. Listen, boys, we
There's levels
we,
to this.
we do this as a hobby. We do this as a hobby, and shout out to Sheikh Hanif for saying how we're professional about this and we're masters at our craft. But there are levels to this game. There 100% are levels to this game, and this is not to say that a level is better than another one. But there are levels to this game, and it's not to say that the level that you're operating at isn't good. It just goes to show that there's some people who bring something different to the table, and Ty Farris brings something different to the table. And whenever Ty Farris drops an album, you realize that there's just a level to it. And you need that. You need artists like Ty Farris. That was Mickey Diamond a few years ago, like 2 years ago, whenever he dropped like 5 of the best albums, there's levels to this game. And when Ty Farris drops an album like this, everyone takes notice, and then everyone raises their level up. So the game only gets better. It's not because you're a 7 right now that you will never be a 9. You need guy like this that are so good at their craft that they make you elevate your craft. It's not about being who's better. It's just about who elevates who. And when you drop an album like this and you're so good at your craft, it makes everyone else step up their game. And we need artists like this to be able to do this, because otherwise the game would just stagnate and then no one would ever move forward.
No, exactly.
And I find that Ty Farris puts out albums at the right time. And he did that last year. Well, he did it in December with Timing of a Tarantula. You could only have bought it to listen to it. And then he put it out in 2025. I still consider it as 2024. But anyways, he always puts out projects at the right time when you're kind of getting like Malenko and you last week. And then Ty Farris hits
ridiculous.
you and you're like, okay,
Yeah,
we're back.
And to your point, you can't drop this in August.
Yeah,
It's too dark. It's too
a
emotional.
November
It's too
album.
vulnerable. This is a November, late
It's a motherfucking
October
November album.
weather change album. This is just what it is. You can't drop this in the summer.
Genius.
We might feel different. It's genius. The
is
timing
like-
of it is perfect.
And the way you said it, Steven, it's exactly how I felt. The last 4 or 5 albums, I was like, okay, I'm kind of having difficulty and this came out, and I'm like, fuck yeah, there's this level. I forgot there's this level, like the beat, the production, the actual content of the album is like, fuck. To me, this is like, when I listen to this, the first thing I thought is like, to me, Ty is a better lyricist than Ransom. To me, I think structure of a song and everything, I think he's the best lyricist.
You know what?
I think he has the best. I haven't listened to the new project yet from Ransom,
But I agree.
like I
agree with
compared it
you.
right away to the DJ Premiere, and I'm like, you know what? I think this Ty Farris,
I
washed it.
agree
Wash
with
it.
I agree with
Lyrically.
you more. I agree with you so much more
It's
than
tough
Derek
to say,
does.
but lyrically, at this moment,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that Ty, just structure of a song and hook wise, everything wise, I think
Oh,
Ty writes better hooks than Ransom by a mile, and yeah,
you
no,
know
just the structure of the whole album is something that I don't think Ransom have. I don't have a Ransom product that have a structure like this.
but you expect from Ransom those hard hitting bars and punchlines as to where Ty Farris is. He's literally giving you a whole story and painting you a whole picture that it's like, oh shit.
But
I didn't
project wise, I think he's another level.
Oh yeah. No. Malenko.
Especially with his last three. I think Apollo Brown and Apollo Brown, Ty Farris and his. Well, no, I'm gonna say at the end. But
Malenko. I'm looking at literally 6 of his projects right now, Ty Farris, and I'm just like, there's no way Ransom even comes close to that. But anyways, let's get back to the album because I wanna get through this and give our final thoughts. Cold is the Gun
Jesus.
is number 3 on my favorite of the list of the songs. Full of street experiences. You can hear. I love it when he says you can hear the streets on the beat.
I love the little vocal they added, that lady vocal that they added is fucking perfect as a transition.
Yeah.
I love it. I thought it was so well made. It's so well mixed. And I mean, again, I think Me Too is my third favorite.
Yeah.
I think it's Details, Sacred, Cold is the Gun. Those are my top 3 for me.
Had a gun parked in his face, gave him the death stare.
Yeah, that line is cold. This is just him. If again, I think he's a better rapper when I think about it, because every time you mention bars by gun bars, they're always fucking so savvy, so good, and so fucking cold. And that's another thing battle rappers have a lot. Those gun bars. So yeah, no. Cold is the gun.
The best part of this whole song though is the beautiful female vocals.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But by somebody I've never heard, or maybe I have heard and I just can't remember because I can't see the featuring here. But amazing value to the album. It literally brought me to a whole different level of what this album is already for me. And I'm rethinking now how much I love this record. And I love this fucking record because of just that value, that female vocals. I don't like, please, somebody message me, so put it in the comments, send me a DM, send me a text. I don't know what you want to send me. I want to know who this is because it added so much value. It gave me more of that, like Ty is so cold and so structured with it that it kind of added something to it. You know what I mean? Cold as the Gun, man. Like I said, just real lyrical street poetry on here. Then there's Street Patriots.
Yep.
There's like a vintage, voices and loops on here. Just another really good song. We go to Traffic after.
Yeah, Traffic is I love Traffic. That to me, the beat for Traffic is the one that I would have picked for Beautiful Struggle.
Huh. Interesting.
I like better that beat. I like better that Traffic beat than Beautiful Struggle.
I like Traffic. If we're talking about what are our least favorite songs on here, I would probably say Traffic, even though I really still really like it.
Mm-hmm.
But it fits the album well right after Street Patriots, which
that beat is nasty though.
Yeah,
it makes energy throughout the song. It gives it a lot of energy.
And
the last quarter of the album too.
And then we get into Flawless Victory featuring Top Hooter. Shouts out Top Hooter from Feed the Family.
Feed the fucking family.
And
I was so happy to hear Top Hooter. And dude, I thought that there's gonna be maybe more. I thought maybe like Boris Rock or something would have hopped on. It would have been sick. I thought I first listened, I was like, oh my god, they have Top Hooter who's next? Like
I,
maybe, but
I literally thought it was gonna be Top Hooter and Sheikh Hanif, and I swear to God,
yeah.
that might have been the best song of the whole entire universe.
Hmm.
Even though this song is really, 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 like again, I'm gonna say really, really, really good, and I'm so happy that Top Hooter got his shot and being on this on a track with Ty Farris because Top Hooter has really two incredible projects. It's like the third episode that I continuously say that Hooter Hyena and handing out samples. He's on a roll this year, man, and I'm so happy to hear him on this song. And he gave it more of like a street value to the
Top
song.
Hooter reminds me so much of Conway.
Yeah, and you know
To
what?
me, he's such a like Conway the Machine. Yeah,
Can we be honest with each
in
other?
a good way.
Can we be
But
honest with each other?
Uh-huh.
How
But
amazing would Conway sound on this beat?
yeah, Conway would have been insane. But yeah, to me, it reminds me a lot of Conway. But yeah, great verse.
And then we end off the album with Young Rebels. And this to me is like a sound of victory of some sort.
And
You know
a
what
way
I
to
meant?
end it. That beat two again, fucking good closure.
This is like, hey, I ran through to all my monsters and I came out on top. You know? And
Mhm.
this is kind of like a song to the younger generation of it's okay to grow through what you're going through. I'm giving you game on everything that I've learned. Do better, but take what I'm giving you and use that to your advantage. And that's the album. That's the
album.
The album is basically Ty Farris going through so many obstacles in life and going through so many problems, which are his monsters, his vices, the issues that he had to deal with, his parents, the streets, the hip hop game, losing Proof, now losing Ka just a year in, you know. There's so much. And he gives it to us in a way that's calm, confident, with so much poetry. He's literally like he's an author reading a book to us from his point of view, through his eyes. And I said at the beginning, he's like a philosopher, but you know what? As you get through towards the end of the album, you kind of more like a big brother or that uncle that gives you game. And I don't want to say that he's old because of the uncle thing, but like he's giving us game. He's telling us, man, it's okay. You don't always have to be a tough guy. You don't always have to be the guy there that, sold drugs and, you're tough and you have money and you have jewelry and you have all that stuff. It's not all about that. It's, hey, you go through these things. Just go head forward. Keep your head up. Go through all these monsters, go through all these problems, go through all these issues. You're going to come out on top. It's okay. Derek has issues. Malenko has issues. I have issues. We all have issues, the people that are listening. And this is an album that's really able to help us go through issues because we have somebody who, is one of our favorite artists that is telling us that, hey, don't worry about it. I've gone through shit too, but attack your monsters head on. Run toward the monster.
And it's, when you're on top of the world, you're on top of the world, but the fall from the top is very steep, and you only truly learn from the hardships. You don't learn from a lot when everything goes well. You learn when things go south. It's the tale as old as time. It's not about staying on top, it's not about getting to the top of the mountain. It's about falling down and getting back up there. You learn from your hardships. And this just goes to show that there's strength in weakness. There's wisdom to learn from the hardships that you go through and from the challenges that you go through. If you're on top of the world, what hardships have you gone through?
Yep.
You just haven't. And to have an album like this that really showcases that in a world and in a sphere where it's all about being on top of the mountain and being the best at whatever your craft is, whether it's selling drugs or whatever it is, you only become truly better at your craft once you've experienced loss and once you've experienced defeat and once you've learned from those things. And this album is, if anything, it's there's wisdom in the vulnerability of it. Of like, you'll make it through. You'll make it through. Have a, just approach it. Don't be afraid of it. Approach it. Attack it the same way it attacked you, and you'll come out on top. And I think there's the wisdom in that is there's no price to put on this whatsoever. Whatever wisdom he drops, like this is an album that everyone needs to listen to. People will reflect differently on it, but if you approach this with an open mind, you'll understand the value in it, whether or not hip hop is your jam or not.
Malenko, final thoughts on the album?
This is exactly what I expected. Quality, top quality, elite rapping, top production. Super dark, and that's how you write an album. That's exactly how you write an album. Timing is perfect with 44 minutes, 13 songs, 12 songs. Give it a
45 minutes, 44 minutes, 45
44
whatever.
minutes. And it's a November album, very dark, very moody.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah, and something I want to add, we've been literally, it's been a while that we've been reviewing Ty Farris albums. It's been, I think, since 2022, believe it or not. I'm looking at his projects right now, and I completely forgot that he put out Sounds That Never Left My Soul.
Yeah.
And this kind of reminds me of that album.
I think there's something that I missed saying, but I think there's a little bit of all these albums on this album. I feel like there's a little bit of enigma of Timing for the Tarantula, especially on the intro. I think that I don't remember the song specifically, but I feel like I think it is Traffic, a bit of a Traffic. You hear Timing, you hear Enigma on there a bit. So yeah, no, I think he combined a lot, and that's exactly what I expected him to just grab another level and go up again. Apollo Brown couldn't let him down. Mm-hmm. And Apollo Brown, production wise, there's something that really surprised me. I feel like Apollo Brown adapted more to Ty Farris than Ty Farris adapted to Apollo Brown music.
Yeah, I noticed that on the album. I was like, oh, Apollo Brown gave us more
Ty Farris types of like structured songs, and that's something that I was expecting a little bit more to go on that Apollo Brown sound, but he never missed. He never missed with the drums.
Never. It's Apollo Brown is gonna go down as one of the best, and what like.
And that just comes down to understanding the assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I don't know how this project.
Understand the artist.
Yeah, and I don't know how this project came together, and that's the one thing that I maybe wish there was more of in hip hop. And this is me coming from another music genre. Is sometimes I wish there was more transparency to it. Drop the lyrics so we're able to read it as we go along, so we're able to understand where you're coming from, and also give us the background on how this came together, because this is a collaboration, right? Tell me how this came together. Did you guys get together? Who approached who? Like, go into the details of what went into making this from either artist. What went into Ty Farris wanting to collaborate with Apollo Brown, and what went into Apollo Brown wanting to collaborate with Ty Farris, and how that sound came together. Who approached who? Did Ty Farris already have the lyrics? Did Apollo Brown already have the beats? Like, I wish I knew this, because by understanding where both artists came from, I feel like I would probably sometimes approach the album with just a little bit more knowledge rather than just blind faith and trying to make assumptions where there's no assumptions to be made. And whenever a project is so cohesive like this, I want to truly shine a light on what made this project cohesive. Yeah. If that makes sense. You understand? Like, I wish I knew the backstory of it. It would help me understand it so much better than just mere speculation.
Yeah, absolutely. Personally. Yeah, they do post things on social media and stuff like that when you're not on social media, Derek, which is fine. But I would have wanted I want a documentary on this. I want a lot more information about this project and how it came together. They're both from Detroit, and I know that they have a relationship, and I know that this has been in the making for a while. And an album like this doesn't take 2 minutes, doesn't take 2 months. It takes a long time to develop,
Or
especially
put in the CD. Put in the booklet in the CD.
yeah. Well,
How this came together, you know? So
you guys don't buy CDs. It's only me that buys CDs.
Booklets.
Vinyls,
Long, big.
whatever.
Did you guys buy the vinyl?
Not yet. Not yet. I was waiting to see how we felt about this album to see if I was pulling the trigger. I've pulled the trigger on albums way too fast in the past, and as cool as the cover is, I wanted to make sure that it added. I don't. Fun fact: Steven buys stuff and keeps it wrapped forever. I buy
Well, it's coming
stuff
to the
and-
grave with me.
Exactly. I buy stuff and I listen to the stuff that I buy. Even if it's a limited edition, even if you're telling me that the plastic that it's wrapped in was produced using the flesh of a Tibetan monk, it doesn't matter. I will
really
open
good
it
plastic.
and I will listen to it. I buy music to listen to it, and artists made it for me to listen to it.
I have OCD.
And I've been
That's why I
fooled in
don't
the
fucking.
past.
I don't.
know.
I have OCD and mental issues that, like, I'm a psycho. So that's why I don't open things that are numbered. And thanks to Bars Over BS, that has been probably the worst thing that's ever happened to my entire life and my wallet. Even though I love them very much for giving me all this product, yeah, I just don't open them. And yeah, I bought the Run Toward the Monster on Bars Over BS. Thank you guys, appreciate you very deeply. But yeah, I just don't open them. I like to stare at them. And then maybe one day when I'm old and grumpy and don't have any value in the world, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna open all my CDs and listen to them. In
The only
year-
thing I have sealed, is my Ferris Blusa and Observe Since '98, and that's when I saw God. That's the only thing that right now is sealed.
From
it's
where?
the only thing.
Bars Over BS.
Buys over BS.
But yeah, buy the vinyl, guys.
I have everything wrapped.
Yeah, we have mental problems. It sucks. But anyways, speaking of Bars Over BS, get the CD. Well, you can't because it's sold out. But CDs over at Bars Over BS. And thank you, Ty Farris, and your cousin and whoever works at Bars Over BS for taking all the money out of my wallet that I'm still paying my credit card monthly. And then once it's paid, it goes back to full max. So it's never really been paid, but I do pay the minimum
It's good
amount you
credit
need
score.
to pay.
It gives you a good credit score.
I have a
For
good
the
credit
OG
score.
listeners, go back to the original podcast. Steven saying every single episode, I'm done buying CDs.
Yeah, every
I'm done
single-
buying stuff. And Steven every week just keeps buying CDs.
all the time.
Yeah, I don't know how much I've spent. They probably have it in their.
I don't wanna
archives,
know.
how much I've spent there. But there is other psychopaths that buy like all the variants and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
just have the enormous amount of anxiety just trying to get one of them.
If Bars Over
I don't
BS
need
had
more.
like a membership program, you'd be like a platinum diamond.
No. There's people that are
Highest
worse
level.
than me because a lot of the people buy every variant. I don't buy every variant because, like I mentioned, I have anxiety. So just trying to get that one, like fuck, I need to get that one. There's
I've
only
worked
10.
with you, Steven. I remember. Steven puts alarms on his phone and leaves the sales floor. It doesn't matter if there's a sale going on, if there's a fire going on. Steven will leave the sales floor at 3:00 to make sure that he
2:55.
gets 2:55 to make sure that he gets the album. It's just what it is. And he tells you the morning when you come in to work with him, he's like, oh, by the way, at 3:00, there's an album dropping and I got to get it. And you're like, okay, Steven. Then he reminds you again at 11, again at 12, again at 1. He's like, hey, Derek, make sure like at 3:00, like I got to leave. I'm like, yeah, we're good.
And if nobody understands the 3:00 mark, that's when Bars Over BS usually drops their CDs. So FYI. Let's get the score and let's get out of here tonight. Derek on 10.
I will rate this for the project that it is, and not in terms of enjoyment, but the quality of the work, the poetic value of the work, the wisdom of the work. I will put this at an 8.5.
Malenko? Can
It's
I
a
cut
tough
it?
one.
So difficult. I think this is a perfect album. I think
Ooh.
this is my third 10 of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Third 10 of the year. What's
I
number?
give that. I don't remember what's third one. I won't say it, but yeah, I think
Wow.
this is a 10. I think this is nearly perfect. I mean, if not, it is. There's no skip to me. Listen to this for the review was pretty fucking easy. Let me tell you. I didn't. It wasn't a struggle to go back and listen to it again.
By
It's
the way,
just the only thing. The only thing I see is just it's so dark. It's just so dark. It's like a Ka album, you know.
yeah. But there's so much value and just so much game and so much, I don't know, wisdom.
Yeah, I mean there is some songs that you can listen a bit daily, but Beautiful Struggle, I'm not gonna listen to that at 9 a.m. walking to work, you know. So especially
Yeah,
if
there's a
it's
time and
already
place.
raining and shit. So yeah, no, it's a great album.
So if you want to hear Malenko's top 10 albums, the end of year review is coming with me, Malenko, and Carl. It's in the works. It'll be there at the end of December.
It's coming.
My score is going to be a 9 on 10. And the reason why I'm going to give it a 9 on 10 is because I want to go back to it numerous amounts of times. I want to go back to it in January. I want to go back to it in March. And I want to go back to it in June. And that's when I'm going to be able to discover a lot more to the project than just what I've discovered in the last couple of weeks or week or 2 weeks. I can't even remember. So that's why. But this project is just an exquisite body of work. And if there's anything ever close to the music Ka gave us, it's going to be this project. And thank you for that. And thank you to Ty Farris for being able to put music like this. And thank you to Ty Farris and Apollo Brown. Because when we think of two people we want to hear together, or anybody going to make an album produced by Apollo Brown, like this fits right into that category, man. Apollo Brown is a legend.
With a feature by Top Hooter and by Mickey Diamond. Fuck.
You can't get better than that.
Yeah, no. It's an easy 10 for me.
And on that note, boys, run toward the monster. If you have any monsters, run directly towards them. Give them a clothesline.
Yep. A spear.
Spear.
From hell.
Clothesline from L, JBL style.
JBL, that's probably one of the best.
Right?
I think I would do that.
All right, if you haven't heard Ty Farris and Apollo Brown, Run Toward the Monster, you've already missed your chance on Bars Over BS for the tape and the CD. The vinyl is still available, I think. Derek and Malenko, get your hands on that. And if not, on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever the hell you listen to your goddamn music. Shout outs out to Bars Over BS for the quality they put out in CDs and in tapes, and for taking all the money out of my wallet. Boys, it's always been a pleasure. We'll be back next week. Hopefully one day we'll be able to review some rock and roll music. On that note, good evening. Peace.
Peace.